Check that out. Most High Christ. All right, Shalom. We the Isupk. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command of General Yohana. I'm Priest and Officer Don Yala. Today is the Wednesday night law class. Oh, yeah, I like this setup. I'm looking at it on Facebook, the way it's set up with the lights. The law class, we're going to go into the law. If anybody got any questions, you can type them in. Or if anybody in the room come across any questions, you can raise your hand. No questions. We're just going to proceed on with the class. Go ahead.
I had a question on the new covenant. That we under.
What, like, as far as what?
I overheard some Christians talking about the new covenant that we under. Just getting a breakdown on that.
Just like a general breakdown? All right, cool. General breakdown on new covenant. Any particular scriptures? All right, let me get, if you ain't got none, let me get a few. The new covenant. All right, Hebrews, let me see. Eight and 8. Hold on. Let me see. Let's see if you can start from 8 or. This is good. God damn. I want to say start at 1. All right, we're going to start at 8 and. Start at 6. Yeah, we can start at 6.
It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 8.
Now, what do they say about the new covenant? I kind of like have a feeling.
I'm not too sure. It's General Captain Shapard was about to teach on it, but we ran over time. The new covenant. So I was like wanted to get a little bit more breakdown.
Right. Yeah, they knew. Because you know it's the first covenant, right?
First covenant is when our Levites.
Yeah, but me. Say it again.
The Levites were the priests.
Yeah, and it was. That wasn't the first covenant. It's a precept that talk about it though. You know it. You just probably thinking too hard. First covenant. It's definitely Deuteronomy.
28.
Nope. Nope. First covenant. First covenant was the circumcision. When you got to circumcise your child on the 8th day. You know why?
You got circumcised on the 8th day. Or
yeah, it's pretty simple. Why would the Lord want you to circumcise your child on the 8th day? Nope. One of the reasons. When the Lord wants you to do something, it always associates with what? When he wants you to do something in order for him to be a God to us, we have to do something for him, which requires and what? Go ahead.
Cut something off.
Pretty much, somewhat. But what is that though? All right, I'm gonna give you an example, right? Before I give it to you. You commit a sin. Let's say you commit a sin, he requires you to give a sin offering, right? You giving that sin offering, what do it do to you? Let's say if you commit a sin and you gotta sacrifice your best sheep, what does that do to you?
Humbles me.
And what else? By you doing it?
Maybe it humbles me and it reminds me never to do this again.
Why?
Because I just had to kill my best.
Your best sheep that produce the best product and everything, brings in the most money. You suffer for it. It's suffering to do it. So it's like, and it's like that today. Like it's like I hear so many arguments. I remember at one point, right, Commander General Yohana radio show, he used to allow people to call in with questions and all that, right? You remember that? One of the big things would be tithes. That would be a very hard thing for people to like understand, a concept for people to understand. So reason being because tithes was money. It's like, yo, you mean to tell me if I get a $200 check, I got to give $20 out of it? Like $20 out of a $200 check is like, damn, you're going to feel like, yo, you're going to be broke. Because once you add up everything you got to give out of it, now it's like, yo, I got to give $20. That's a sacrifice. That's like suffering to give that $20 out of your check. So people would make it a big deal like, yo, tithes ain't money. Tithes is like fruits and corn. They rather tithes be that because that's stuff they don't care about. But what they do care about is the money. So giving away that little $20 you got, that's suffering for them to do that. And it was like that with the sheep, and it was like that with the circumcision. Like, okay, circumcision, if y'all had kids and actually like a son to be exact, right? You have a son and it's time for your son to get circumcised. Like after that baby gets circumcised, that is like hell. You feel bad and everything. When you go to change the diaper, you got to be all gentle. You like, damn, you start to feel bad for the baby because the baby got circumcised. Well, it was at one point in time, the circumcision was because what's going on here? That was good. So look, at one point in time, the circumcised was you see your child suffer. That is like, nobody this baby gonna be up all night. It's gonna be crying in pain. And all you can do is just be like, see, back then it was like, yo, the Lord want this to happen, and this is a part of the covenant. So you sitting there like, damn, you feeling sorry for the baby. The baby is suffering, which makes you suffer.
Right.
That was a part of the covenant. Listen, you got to circumcise your child. You know, that was one of the things that was a part of the first covenant. And it was pain and it was suffering. Like he wanted us to do with anything. Right. You got to see your child suffer. Then if you commit a sin, yo, that sheep been bringing you in about $200,000 a year. You did what? Give me that sheep. Kill that sheep. You know this sheep go, your business is like, damn, that's rough for your business. So that was the first covenant. So read on.
Verse 6, mm-hmm. But now have he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises.
Now, who is the mediator of a better covenant?
Yahushua.
Yep, Yahushua. Yahushua was the mediator of a better covenant and better promises. Why better covenant and why better promises? Because, of course, we broke the first covenant and we couldn't get the promises because we broke the first covenant, which led, we broke the first covenant. That's how we led to getting kicked out of the land or whatnot, and the Lord going away with us. Read on. We had Hebrews 8 and 6 too, Yaquab.
Wow.
I ain't the bar.
All right. Which was established upon better promises. Verse 7. For that first covenant had been faultless.
If that first covenant had been faultless, read.
Then should no place have been sought for the second.
If it was no fault in the first covenant, it wouldn't be no need for the second one. What was the fault? What was the faultness in the first covenant?
Us sinning against the Lord.
Nope.
Community couldn't keep it. He wasn't keeping it.
Nope. All right. So all right, read the first line again.
For if that first covenant had been faultless.
The first covenant had been faultless, meaning if there was no fault in the first covenant, read.
Then should no place have been sought for the second.
Then there was no need for the second, meaning they found fault with the first covenant, which is why the Lord came and gave us a second covenant. What was the first fault that we found? That was found in the first covenant. Okay?
Was it okay? Is it explaining that, like, there wasn't no issue with the first covenant?
Nope. There was an issue with the first covenant. That's why we needed the second one. Go ahead.
God, if I come in, was it that we needed a real sacrifice?
Nope. It was fault in the first covenant, which is why we needed the second one. What was the fault that was found in the first covenant?
The priest.
Nope. You gotta think about it though. All right. How can I say it without giving it to y'all? All right, in the car. Let's see.
The one out there, the written marriage.
You on to it.
The divorce.
You on to it. You close. How was that fault?
People was taking advantage of.
Taking advantage of it. Which means, how can I say without giving it to you? You close. If you write a bill of divorce for your woman, right, and she go out and sleep with another man, what does she do?
Technically she didn't commit adultery, but she was put away. But in Christ.
Okay. She didn't commit adultery, but technically that would be. Because it wasn't supposed to be like that. Why was it like that? Because Moses decided to be lenient on us because he seen how we was acting towards each other. He like, yo, they can't stop arguing, man. And they damn near about to kill each other. You know what? Y'all done with each other? Cool. Write a letter, give it to her. So the next man she deal with, she can give it to the next man. He could see she free and he could sleep with her. But the guy she was just with is not dead. She didn't commit adultery. So this letter really means nothing. They just had an argument. They could have fixed it, but they didn't. Moses just was like, I'm going to just save y'all from killing each other. Just write a letter, say you don't want her, say you don't want him, when that's a sin in the Most High eyes. What the Most High say, now in the Old Testament, it's a bill of divorce, right? Also in the Old Testament, what did the Most High say? Divorce is like what to him? Let me get it, in case y'all don't know. Divorce is like, hold on. Do anybody know? Hold on, let me see. Yaquad?
Yeah, he said the Lord said it was like death.
But yeah, he definitely did. But what it was like. What? Like, okay, what type of death? Let me get the precept. Hold on. What you got?
It was like, if I could, it was like death without being buried.
Nope. Hold on, I think I got it. Malachi 2:16.
Oh God.
Start at yeah, 2:16. Now, and it was a bill of divorce, right? Which means you can put away your wife. You write a letter, you able to put away your wife. Read this.
Oh God. The book of Malachi, chapter 2, verse 16. For the Lord, the God of Israel, saith that he hateth putting away.
Now, the Lord, God of Israel. Hold on. All right, so let's read. Go up to verse. Okay, go up to verse to get the content of it before we drop down. Go up to verse 14
Oh God.
to get the contents of it to know that it's talking about marriage.
Oh God. The book of Malachi, chapter 2, verse 14. Yet he say, wherefore? Because the Lord hath been witness between thee and the wife.
The Lord has been witness, it say,
Oh God.
between you and your wife. Read.
Oh God. Of thy youth.
Of your youth. Read.
Against whom thou hast dealt treacherously.
The Lord witness between you and your wife of your youth, who you have dealt treacherously with. Meaning what? The Most High, he's looking down and he's seeing everything you and your wife is going through each other with. He see all the stuff y'all go through. Everything. He's watching you. He's paying attention. Read.
Oh God. Yet is she thy companion.
And she's the wife of your youth, meaning she's of your people. And from your youth, meaning what? She's been around since y'all was little. She's someone that always been around. She's of your people. We grew up in the hood and we grew up around our people. We might get 1 or 2 Edomites that live in the neighborhood and all that, but we grow up in our neighborhoods is us in there. We grew up with this woman. Now we grow up with this woman and we with this woman, and the Lord see all the BS that we go through. He's paying attention. Read.
Oh God. And the wife of thy covenant.
And the wife of thy covenant. What's the wife of thy covenant? The wife of thy covenant is you cannot deal with any woman outside of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's in the covenant. You can't deal with no other woman outside of your nation. Read.
Oh God. Verse 15. And did not he make one?
Did he not make y'all one? In Genesis it say, when a man finds a woman and shall leave his mother and they shall become one and not twine. Read.
Yet had he the residue of the spirit.
Read.
And wherever one.
Mm-hmm.
What's Salaki? And wherefore one. That he might seek a godly seed.
Now, the residue of the spirit, he got the spirit left in him and all that. And that he may seek a godly seed, meaning what? He planned on having children with this woman. He's an Israelite, and he planned on putting an Israelite baby in this woman. That's a godly. sometimes you got to go through 2 years of horrible relationship to get 10 good years. And then you might got to go through 1 bad year to get another 5 years. It's just life. Like, it's not going to be perfect. So, like, yeah, Jane, brother?
Some people can't go through 2 weeks. They're looking for a way out. And it's so messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, they know, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to go to family court. This crack will make you do what I want you to do. This crack was, it ain't the white folks down there, but all the white folks is judges.
All the white folks is judges. Everybody who's sitting in the chairs is black. That's a form of controlling you to get what I want. I want you to act this way, nigga. Family court. This, and I say this all the time. I know a brother who, I remember he would go to the concession stand and get 2 hot dogs and get everything on it. To where it was certain stuff that didn't go on the hot dog, and you never would understand why he would get it on the hot dog. So one day somebody said, man, why the hell you keep getting such and such on that damn hot dog? He said, look, man, child support taking all my money. So I have to get everything on this hot dog to fill me up because this is the only time I'm going to eat. Because I have no more money outside of this because child support is taking everything. And when I heard that story, I was like, that comes from America making you feel like you have a way out. He ain't making you happy. Divorce him and still take his money. Make yourself, say it again.
And take his kids.
Take his kids. Make yourself happy and make him unhappy. How do you make him unhappy? And I heard my cousin wife said this to him before. They broke up, she put him through hell, and then they got back together. And I was like, yo, ask her why she even did any of that. I just want to know why. Now, mind you, I'm telling him to ask her that because I want to use it for teaching purposes.
Right.
So he asked her, and she say, I wanted to make you so broke that no other female would want you. So even though you was picking your son up, taking care of your son, I knew the court was going to rule in my favor because I was a woman. And I wanted to make you so broke that when you meet a female and you tell her your story, she wouldn't even want you. Not because you're a good father and taking care of your child, but because you don't have no money for her. So I did what I did to hurt you. And I was like, how could you not figure that that's what the system is about? It hurt you. I remember going down there one time, and the brother was he was sitting in the seats crying. It was seats just like this, women on this side, male on this side. He was like, yo, what am I down here for? I take care of my kids. Yo, hey, shalom, y'all about sir. He like, yo, what am I down here for? I take care of my kids. Yo, I don't know what's going on. And he's pleading with the sister to the point where he started crying. And all she could say was, I just need extra money for my nails and hairs and everything, you know, to get my hair done and my nails done. So I don't care what you're talking about. Like, she used that as a way to, when she was in that relationship and wasn't happy, she used family court as a way out when it was never supposed to be like that. On the car?
If I could, I wanted to say a little quick couple of things. Like, Christ was basically, you know, the metaphor behind it is, if you feel like you're the type of person that is going to write that book of divorce, you fall in that category, one of those people that's being weak and can't go through the fire, then don't get married until you're sure. Because all we were doing was just being whores. You know, we just filling our flesh. And I be having conversations with a lot of sisters and brothers in the world. You know, they'll be like, well, you know, my question being, why do black people feel as though co-parenting is regulated? Why do we feel as though that we should regulate co-parenting? You know, like, we're like the only nation of people that feel like, oh yeah, you know, they not making me happy. Toodles, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? That's disgusting. I said, this is why we have in the situation that we have. Like, I see the benefit of firsthand, you know, thanks to the Lord, you know what I mean, give, you know what I mean, blessings with the ISUBK. I'm able to see, like, firsthand the benefit of having two parents at home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, having a mother, having a father, and that balance that it creates. The reason why we having so much of these issues and problems and our systems so damn destroyed because we regulate co-parenting. And co-parenting, it would allow the white man to work his witchcraft and sorcery to where, like you said, like in the Garden of Eden, I'll make you into a god, the white man, the spirit of the white man, say. And like you said, like every brother, if you don't know that, you know what I'm saying, that the white man try to make our women a god, and man, you just in the dust. Like when I had an opportunity. My homie Sean, he was fighting for his son, right? He was fighting for his son, and his baby mom was really she's like not the one to be taking care of kids. We went to the courtroom. He had me, he had his ex-girlfriend, his mother, as a witness of what happened. Is one day when she got drunk as hell, the kids was all the way down at the end of the block, and I was a witness the whole time. I'm sitting in there. The damn white woman is being evil towards me, and I'm just answering questions. I try to give like a little testimony on his behalf. She's like, I didn't ask you that. I asked you this question, you answered. I'm like, yo, this shit is set up for you, bro, to lose. This bitch don't give a damn about you. And Gabe, knowing that this chick is bugged out crazy, sat up there and favored her.
That's how that's.
She left out of there crying.
That's how the system works. That's exactly how the system is. The system is set up to set the women over the man because that's how they can destroy us. Because they know us as men and as Israelites, it's in our nature and it's natural for us to be the head, to be the provider, to be the leader. So it's only but so much we're going to take from the degrading or belittling from a woman before we decide to, like the weakest nigga is eventually, he got a breaking point to where as though he's going to say something. Like, this is just not him. Like, nah, I'm supposed to be running things. I don't give a damn if this your house, your name on the lease, you paying all the bills. I'm supposed to be running things because at the end of the day, if somebody come break, if your name on the lease and everything, you paying all the bills, if somebody come break in this house 4:00 in the morning, you're not looking to get up to go see what the hell it is. I got to go grab a bag or something and go downstairs and put my life on the line for it. Wherever you at, if a male decides to say something to you, I got to put my life on the line for it. So all the materialistic things don't mean nothing to a man. And I don't give a damn how much you paying for, because when it's time to die, I have to, by God's standard, I have to be the one to put myself on the line for it. And this system is just set up for us to lose. But I'll tell you one thing, right? That'll help us defeat it. What we have to do also too. Because yes, this system is set up to, put the women over us and help destroy us. But we just got to start picking better sisters. Like, we got to pick better sisters. Sometimes we might be in that club, liquoring us, grooving. This sister looking like the perfect sister, but we ignoring all the crazy ass signs. that's wrong with her. We ignore everything that's crazy with this broad. For nothing, Salakia. We have to pick better sisters. It's like in the car. You had your hand up first.
If I could, like what you're saying is heavy, because my whole thing is like when I'm out on a crowd, I'll be like, well, she in this club. You know what I'm saying? I'm in this club cool with my homies enjoying the sights. I'm a conversational type dude, very social. But one, like what Christ is trying to teach us is, man, be sure in your selection, brother and sister. Like when I be in these little group chats or like a post or something like that, like I'm undefeated because I'm going off of what Christ said. You know what I mean? Be sure in your election, man. You know, a lot of females you hear them say niggas ain't shit, this and that. You know what I mean? Or like one thing, brother, gotta watch out. Like chick always be quick on the defense. That's why I love Commander Giuliani because he been defending black, Hispanic, Native American brothers before the masses for decades. And one thing that I heard him say, I was listening to when he was in a council meeting. I think it was down here in Philly, back in like 2014.
I remember. I was there. I remember.
Concert. So he was like explaining like, no, the most dangerous endangered species on the planet is the black Hispanic Native American man. And well, us knowing that, and like you said, the way to beat that is to choose our woman right. More importantly, you know, I was explaining this to somebody before, like the ISUK helps you become that man that you destined to be if you listen to what the Lord had to tell you. Like the priests and the prophets of the Lord that's, you know what I mean, that have been raised up in ISUK, we've been put in position to put that battery in your back. Learning how, not even forget about the woman, learning how to take orders and give orders. What makes you the perfect soldier when you can be able to take orders, you'll learn how to give them. Then, like the Lord said, you know, kind of in reverse, how you going to be able to lead a woman if you can't lead a man. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. You
like,
can't get your own people in order. Right. How the hell you gonna lead your house?
Wisdom and understanding, like at the time I called you, you called me like, yo, you know what I'm saying? This how you want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, boom. You know what I mean? With certain situations, and I was like, right. All right, cool, boom, calm. You know what I'm saying? It's like brothers gotta understand. And when I be on Clubhouse, a lot of times, you know, they be like, oh, don't put that doctrine, but I'm like, yo, it's kind of hard for me not to speak on it because it is the perfect protocol. Y'all sisters talking about brothers is doing this and doing that. Stop just laying down with anybody. Stop.
That's
just
right.
close your box. You know what I mean? Learn about your culture, learn who you is. So you can value yourself even more and understand your roots.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna understand your roots. Being from Africa, when them damn Africans ain't doing nothing for us.
Right.
You ain't gonna learn anything from these religions because they're not giving you the grounding that you need.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding what the Lord requires from you and the man, and you understanding the position, the real position in the Lord's eyes of a man, and understanding your position, you'll be better off. You brothers, like my whole thing is, right? I always say this. I'm like, females that's, you know, that's out there dealing with, they're getting a relationship, right? Like Safari, right? Safari is in the news all the time, every year, right? Something goofy.
Mm-hmm.
He chose his birthday celebration over than being with his woman.
Mm-hmm.
By right, yeah, she a hoe, but that's your wife, huh? You know what I'm saying? Your woman is in the hospital. You need to be there with her. You know what I'm saying? She shouldn't be having to go to social media. One, you should check her for going to social media. Two, you should be there with her. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's sitting up there being so unmanly, and females like, oh, how can you do that, this and that? I'm like, listen, y'all gotta look at the sister first. Everybody knows Safari is a goofy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think that you're gonna try to build a house with Safari?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's like the most unmanly Benjamin I've ever met in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's about being sure of your selection. I'm like, yo, the sister gotta be looking at herself like, damn, I should have. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's quick to play the blame game. You know what I'm saying? It's,
Right. No, that's a fact. That's y'all I've been on outside. And you had your hand up too, brother?
What's important, man, is brothers really need to take responsibility and ownership. Most High give us discernment. So we'll use our wisdom when we choose these women, and really only got lessons in it. Thanks to scripture, I can't remember the scripture, but it's like you really gotta look at that woman's lineage to make sure she comes from good stock. We ignore all red flags because we see, beauty.
Right.
Whatever it is we see, we be attracted to that. So our lustful eyes, our lustful spirit overpowers our wisdom and discernment. We choose these women. You know what I mean? But we really got to look at their lineage, man. That's so important.
No, what you saying is true. That's everything we got to take into consideration, man. Because once we do that, we know, damn, her last 2 baby fathers she put on child support. Ooh, I'm gonna back off from that. I'm good. Or you got, hey, what happened with you and your baby father? Oh, you found out he had another woman? You put him on child support? Oh yeah, I'm good. Like it's certain things you would have to know about a woman that would make you back off to know, like, all right, this ain't the one that I should be, dealing with.
Right.
Let's start there. Like we start there, and if we start showing hoes or whores that we don't want them, we would have less hoes and whores because they would feel like, okay, being a hoe or a whore is not in style. I told this nigga, my baby father, I went through his phone. He had another woman, so I put him on child support. He stopped talking to me. I really liked the brother though. He was solid, genuine. I really think he can help me go to the next level and push me to be better in life. But he stopped talking to me because of that. Maybe she would want to change what the hell she doing. And one day she might walk through the school and you might be like, God damn, that's the shit I was talking to. Okay. She might show you something. You be like, all right, cool. You can prove yourself. All right, I got you. But it's all about her changing and becoming a different person. So like you had to.
I had to stop. Listen, some brothers need to give me a damn drink or something. Man. I stopped them from getting on child support. I mean, it was when a woman in her rage, she's like, you be like, yo, listen. I don't know how I did it. I said, listen, don't do that. You understand? The hell, like, there's other resources you can get to than doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, one, come into the school and get help. Don't sit up there and put that man on child support. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit is hell. That's oppression.
Yeah. Listen, go ahead.
Think about this, man. You gotta just think about what they tell you, man. You gotta fight to see your own kids, your seed. The seed that God gave you, the Most High gave you the dominion over, so you can raise up good. And you gotta fight just to be a father. You gotta fight just for the right. You gotta go to these crackers and get the right to be a father to your own child. The Most High gave you that. And these crackers, when they oppress slavery, man, they take that away from you.
Listen, when I found out this, I was shocked that no parent had custody over the child unless they go to the court and get custody. So meaning you have a baby, sign a birth certificate and everything, you or the woman, right, don't have custody. The state have custody over the child, which is why at any moment they can come through your house, take your child, do whatever they want. You don't have custody unless you go to court and you and the mother figure out what y'all going to do. How are you going to figure out what you're going to do if y'all still together under the same household? You can't. It's completely designed for when y'all not together. You can't go into the courtroom and say, hey, I live with her and he lives with me. We just want to figure out what we going to do with this custody. It's either one of y'all has to have physical custody and the other one has to have partial physical custody. It's not both of y'all got physical custody. One has to have physical and the other one has to have like partial physical and partial visitation. So if neither one of us own or is in charge of our child unless we go to the court. But then when you go to the court and the options they give you is not made for a couple that's still together, what in the hell am I here for? Meaning we have to come back when we're not together, which makes when y'all going through hard times, I'm going to go downtown and I'm going to get custody because guess what? You're going to get partial custody and I'm going to get physical custody, which meaning what? Physical custody is the child lives with me and I provide the school, religion, and what the child is going to grow up and be like. Partial custody is when that child come over your house, you have to abide by what I want the child to be. Now, if neither one of us own that child, unless we go down to the court, but then we go down to the court, it's billed for a couple that's not together. What in the hell we here for? It's damn near, the male is going to look at it like, oh, this is not for us. We good. We cool. But guess what? 2 o'clock in the morning, when you come in from the club, pissy drunk, and you pass out and go to sleep, and your wife go through your phone and she see that other number, she gonna be like, okay, that court wasn't for us, you think. Okay, yeah, it was for me. Watch this. You gonna get a letter in the mail, gonna be like, child support, custody, what the hell? I'm gonna just go to see, hey, babe, we gotta go to the child support. All right, all right, cool. You gonna go down there and be like, what the hell? And it's gonna rule in her favor every time. And this is, and real quick, this is no exaggeration. Until I came into the school, including me, I haven't met so many black men who have custody of their children until I came into the school. Like, I came into the school fighting that battle. And I have custody of my son. And I can name, no exaggeration, the water, Most High Christ, no exaggeration, I can name at least like 10 other brothers who is on the same path. Now, for me to name 10 other black men who have custody of their children who won it in a court system over a woman, that's unheard of. You have to have God on your side for that. Like, that is unheard of. Like, I know brothers who was battling for 10 years and they come into the school one day happy as hell. Hey, what's going on, Doc? You seem a little happy. Yo, I went down to the court today and they gave me custody of my daughter, man. Oh, man, listen, I'm just happy, man. I'm just ready for class. Look, I got a lot to talk about today. And you like, okay, he don't know, but he gonna get it later. Look, I'm one of them. And I'll tell you that I'm one of them. My son, 8 now, about to be 9. I'm one of them. Came into the school, fighting this, listen, in 6 months, he's 6 months old and I got custody of him. And I'm in the courtroom and the judge is totally against me. The worst thing they could do is give me 6 to 8 months time prep because in that 6 to 8 months, I was in the school getting right. And I walked in that courtroom when that court date and walked out with my goddamn child. And it was just like that. It's like you had your hand up.
Man, I just want to say the white man is the devil.
It's the devil that the Bible speaks of. Because listen, it's strictly set up for that. Like, that's how it is. It's like you had your hand up, or
yeah, I mean, I'm saying, like, these sisters don't realize that the white man is literally, the court system is pimping them. For real. They make, brothers have to sleep with these ladies and make these families with them, and then the white man get paid off.
right.
The system is all about money. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the white man, had a sister go ahead with his brother on child support. They take their money off the top. Then they make their money from the interest that the money's sitting in the bank for a couple of days before they pay it out. The white man making all the money.
Right.
I was talking to a sister who worked down there. She said that, between the different companies that the brothers is paying child support, she was like, man, they sending over $20 million a week down there to the white man. The white man take 10% off the top before he even pay it down out. It's crazy.
Listen, man, I wish they would know that. When we say it, they like, these niggas crazy. Get these niggas off the corner, man. Get a job. When we say it, you know what I mean? But in all actuality, it's true. we just trying to help. It's better to be together than to be divided. And so like,
I have a precept.
all right, go ahead. Yeah. You can pull that precept.
Like what Christ was teaching us, you know, I tell a lot of brothers in the midst of the sisters, like you have, and it is crazy because it's always like that awkward silence, and then they go back, their demon get back when they back. Like choosing who you deal with can really eliminate the co-parenting issues. It also, you know, I told them, you know, like John Hyman teach us, you hate your children if you are willing to leave that marriage, you know, that relationship. You know, you hate your children because don't you know that a child benefits more from with both parents in their house? You have to get through it. I said a lot of black people, we don't understand about counseling, family counseling. You understand? And another thing too, you gotta hold yourself accountable. That you knew that this nigga wasn't nothing. You know he was, he was no good, lazy behind, get high all day individual. But you wanted him because you fell in love with the face value, vice versa. Dude fall in love with that face value, knowing that she's a whore, she's gonna try to live her best life. You understand? And you know, sit up there and be destructive. I'm holding Proverbs chapter 21 verse 9. It said it is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house.
And what's the other precept? Is rather to dwell with a lion or a dragon than to with a wicked woman? Like, listen, it's set up to destroy Israel as a whole, which is why they have in America divorce. You can divorce or whatnot. They got so many rules. If he ain't making you happy, you know, if he ain't doing what he's supposed to do, girl, leave him. Like, all that is just set up to destroy you, because no one's going to be happy 20, 30 years into a marriage. Like, come on, let's be realistic. You can pick whatever, you can pick your profession you want to do in college, do that profession, and at one point, you know, in the 4 to 8 to 12 years you in college for, you're going to hate it. And you're going to think about dropping out and giving up. And those nights, you're going to still push through it. You're going to say, nah, I came too far. I can't turn around. I can't turn back. I got to finish. Why not think the same for your marriage? Why not think the same? Look, this nigga getting on my nerves. I keep going through his phone and find the numbers. Let me just push through it. Do you think when you got with him, every woman was going to think he's ugly after you got with him? Why don't you think the same reason that attracted you to him was going to attract other females to him too? Like, all of a sudden, you know, whatever you liked about him, yo, his game was on point. He was A1. Yo, he was Prince Charming. Yo, all right, man, it was a certain way he did this and did that. Why do you think that's going to stop when he get with you? It's not going to stop. And guess what? Other women is going to notice that about him too, and they're going to want him too, just like you wanted them. Why do you think that's going to stop when he get with you? It's not. But because America makes you feel like that there's a way out, which is why a female would want you for that, and they would expect you to cut it off. And when you don't cut it off, hey, look, he don't make me happy no more. You know, so guess what? On to the next. And what you think the next person gonna do? On to the next. And then you're gonna find yourself 40, 50 years old with grown ass kids, and you got a bunch of stories to tell about how niggas ain't shit. And it's, when in all reality is, you ain't put up no fight. You put up a fight with everything you do in your life, except your marriage. Except your marriage. Like everything you do in life, like you don't switch. Like when I found this out a few years ago, I thought this was crazy. That when you boxers, right? Everybody know like boxing is like one of the best sports to get into when you're dealing with like conditioning and all that and getting in shape, right? No boxer walks around. Okay, like a boxer might come into a fight 145. But on the off season, he's walking around like 160, 170. And I will always think like, damn, they walking around at like 160, 170. And then they got to fight in 2 months and they still make the weight. Because they put themselves through all that stress, them sleepless nights and pain to get to the end goal, which is to win that championship. So I fight at 145, but right now I'm 160. Guess what? I got to fight in 2-3 months. I'm going to make 160. And they're going to suffer themselves with them diets, with whatever they supposed to do, getting up 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, running 10 miles. They doing all that just they making themselves suffer. Nothing in life comes without suffering. And us as a people, we know that unless it comes to being happy. Like I'm not willing to suffer to be happy. You know, I'm not. That's not. That can't happen. He don't make me happy. She don't make me happy. Guess what? I'm gonna just find another one. And then you get that beginning love where it just seems so perfect. And guess what's gonna happen in 2 months? You're gonna be mad at that person for the same stuff you was mad at the last person for. And like I said, you're gonna be 40, 50 years old, finding yourself in relationships, and you're gonna be, God damn, maybe I was the issue. Maybe my patience wasn't as long as I thought it was. Let me be a little bit more patient with somebody and see how far it take me. So like in the car, go ahead.
If I could. I remember a certain individual, I told him, I was like, listen, I'm trying to dip, man. You know what I'm saying? You dip, you're going to regret it. I'm like, all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell them, you know what I mean? It's a bad situation. So they dip off, start going with somebody else, doing with that person. Oh, yeah, they got. I check in time to time. What's up, man? How everything going? Yeah, it's good. It is good, super. I'm like,
it's the best thing in the world.
Yeah, that's what's up. So I sat back and I come to find out, even up to the day, that the dude was not manly. You know what I'm saying? A piehead. You understand? Can't hold his own weight. Can't even lead. Okay, it's an issue when your children don't even respect your authority as a man. You understand? They are under you and they can't respect your authority as a man, and then you can't even hold your own because you're a piehead. And I'm like, damn, this is what you wanted. I said, damn. You know me, I'm petty. I'm like, damn, man.
You asked for this.
I threw you the ball, man. What happened?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You left the good stuff for, you know what I mean? You left the Don Julio for the EMJ. You know what I'm saying? You throw it over. This is good. You get a lot with this $16. You know, the quality is all that matters, you know. And that's the story of a lot of females. They, not being able to work through problems. And the issue is, I'm reading this book called The Black Man Guide, Understanding the Black Woman by Shahrazad Ali. And she goes from childhood to, baby.
Yeah, yep, that's where it started.
When a little girl, you understand, she's a child, she learns from her interact what her mother does. The father, but more so the mother, because she sees how the mother respects the authority of that man. And if she sees that her mother not respecting that man. You understand? Doing a little sly stuff to try to, act like your father. It trickles over to when they become teenagers. She started trying to be manipulative and stuff like that because she started from childhood to teenage years. Teenage years, they start realizing more about themselves. And, the mother, she been watching the mother interaction with her father. Her mother been grooming her to be a bitch, a bitter bitch. And that's what we usually get. And a lot of times, the man is not home.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're dealing with two aspects. It's either the man is home and he's not being shown the respect because the mother in them homes will say the energy that she gives, the perspective that she gives to her daughter is your father. Oh my gosh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like learning how to be manipulative, not learning how to deal with situations. That's why a lot of females cannot talk about things. They'd rather text you or they'd rather just boil up in flames instead of sitting down like, hey, I think we need to talk. Because they not being taught those things. And then they said that, all the make-believe, all them times, the cartoons and all the wicked holidays, that plays a part too. Because she grows up, birthday parties, Thanksgiving, Christmas, seeing Mother's Day and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So all these things, she's in a world of illusion. So now when she becomes an adult, she want to go to college. Her career means everything, but her morality don't mean a damn thing. A family don't mean a thing. And that's why when you see a lot of these sisters with these degrees, I always tell bro, just because she got a degree, that don't mean that she has integrity. That don't mean that she can raise a family. A lot of these sisters, they think that, oh, I have a degree, this and that, but can you cook biscuits from scratch? Can you sit up there and cater to your man when you come home without all these stipulations? You know what I'm saying? And where it is today, the man is just looked at as a tool. He's just, oh, you're a provider, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not giving that role and that respect to that man because they was never shown to. And that's why the ISUK is so strong and is a pillar in the Black, Hispanic, Native American community. Because we let it be known that woman better respect that man.
Right.
She is going to be utterly destroyed by society. Because as you see today, there was a time, we in the same generation. There was a time when females didn't go outside dressing so provocative. Now, when we go on social media and go outside, we see females wearing anything. It's like, when chicks go out, all you're gonna see is twerking. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens when you don't respect a man. Real man will tell you, bitch, cut that shit out.
Right.
Time check 8:30.
All right, cool. Was that it? Is there any questions online? Anything?
Lots of questions.
All right, you can read the scripture you was holding.
Calm. Right. It's the book Ecclesiasticus and Apocrypha, chapter 25, verse 16. I have rather dwell with a lion and a dragon.
Go back to the first one we was reading.
Calm. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 9. It is better to dwell in a corner of
No, the one
house.
before that. Okay, the topic we was on of the new covenant.
The new covenant. These are the book of Hebrews, chapter 8, verse 6.
Yeah, 8 verse 8. Yep, 8 verse 6. I
Calm.
was reading down to 6.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 8, verse 6. But now have he obtained a more excellent ministry. But by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises.
Drop down to 8, verse 8.
Verse 8. For finding fault with them, he said, Behold, the days come, said the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
So because he found faultness with them, the Lord said that he was going to make a new covenant with Israel and with Judah. Read.
Verse 9. Not according to the covenant that I had made with their fathers in the day.
Now, not according to the covenants that he made with our fathers. What was the covenant? The circumcision we do with the children. Read.
With their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, said the Lord. Verse 10, for this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord.
Now, this is the covenant that he going to make with the house of Israel. Read.
I'm going to put my laws into their mind.
He's going to put his laws into their mind. Read.
And write them in their hearts.
And he's going to write them in our hearts. Read.
And I will be to them a God.
Now, he's going to put the covenants in our mind. Read it from the beginning.
Verse 10, for this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind.
How are you going to put the law into our mind?
By teaching us.
Through
the priests and prophets.
Yep, I'll read on.
And write them in their hearts.
How are you going to write the law in our heart?
Would that be by us believing? By faith?
Nope. How he going to put them in our mind? You just said it.
By teaching us.
How he going to put them in our hearts? How you going to write them in our hearts?
By teaching us.
By teaching us. It's the same thing. Mind, heart, all that is the same thing. Your mind, your heart, all that is the same thing. Read on.
If I could. So basically, like, he was just saying it, like, as if the same way, like, they said, I have not come to destroy the law nor the prophets. It's like,
yeah, or when he say, love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and all thy mind, soul. It's the same thing. It's all of you. It's every part of you. It's the same thing. So he say, love the Lord with, and then when you start naming what you should love the Lord with, it's your body, everything.
Okay.
So it's the same thing. Read on.
And write them in their hearts.
You're going to write them in their hearts. Read.
And I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people.
Now, we're going to be to him a God. He's going to be to us a God, and we're going to be them as a people.
This is also speaking about how it's going to be in the kingdom. We will need the laws. The law will be in our heart. What you're going to do. We don't need to.
Yep.
About it.
That's exactly what it means. Like, yeah, it ain't right. We going to know it already. Meaning, we're going to get taught it, but it ain't going to be. Okay, the law in our heart and our mind is going to be, when you're born, you're going to know it. You're going to be taught it from you a baby. So when you grow up and the older you get, you're going to know the law. It ain't going to be how Nakari at 20 such and such got to walk in and learn about the laws of God because he didn't know. So from 20 such and such, from down till he was born, he just sinned and didn't know nothing about the law. it's going to become a point in time where we're going to know it regardless. We're going to come out the womb and be taught it. And we're going to keep it with every part of us because we're going to be in the kingdom. You know, just how now you come into the truth, you have a child, you're going to teach that child, yo, this is what you can and can't do. But then you might got a child that's about 10 or 11 who you didn't teach that. You didn't teach the same thing as the last child you had because you came into the truth and now you understand the Bible and the laws of the Most High. So the last child you had, you teaching this, that, and the third. The child before that, you didn't teach that. You start teaching it at a later stage. It's going to come a time where it's that child, that child, that child. It's like, yeah, Jane up.
Will this refer back to, is this in connection when they say, we shall be born again?
Cool, say it again.
Corresponds with what this is saying?
Nah, because born again is what we are now.
Right.
We ain't going to need to be born again in the kingdom. You're going to come back as, you know, you're going to die and come back and learn the law the moment you come out your mama. I mean, you ain't going to be born again as you at 23 learning the truth and deciding to keep in the laws of the Most High. That's born again. It ain't going to be no need to be born again in the kingdom. But now, go ahead.
Verse 11. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor.
And there ain't going to be no need for you to teach every man your neighbor. There's going to be no need for you to teach every man to keep the law. You're going to learn it as a baby. Read. You're going to be taught it as a child. Read. Go ahead.
So this is like going into the kingdom of heaven, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And corresponds to now too?
I mean, this is more so the kingdom of heaven. Because now we have to teach every man that's our neighbor. And we have to be born again now. So in the kingdom of heaven, you're going to be taught this as a child. What's going to happen in the kingdom of heaven if you taught this as a child and decide to disobey it at 25? Go ahead.
Well, we're not going to be under grace more.
So what's going to happen?
You're
going to die. You're going to die for it. It ain't like now that you're 25 committing these sins and don't know. In the kingdom of heaven, you 25 committing these sins, you're dying for it. Because you know. Why you know? Because this was written in your inward parts. You was told as a child, we not eating no shrimp, crab, or lobster. We not sleeping with whores. You got of an age where you're grown and able to live on your own and decide to do these things, you're dying for it. Because you know. You can't say you don't know. You in the kingdom, so you do know. Why? Because this was taught. Everybody know this. You had your hand up in the car?
Yeah, if I could, so this ain't in effect yet?
Nah.
All right, that's all I want to know.
Are we in the kingdom? Hell no, this ain't in effect.
No, I'm saying right here when we read it, this is not in effect yet, right?
Read it again.
From verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people."
And you saying, is this in effect now?
Come on.
Okay.
If I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you read verse 9, it's saying, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we still in Egypt, we still in captivity.
Right.
So we haven't been let out.
Right. So is this in effect now? Go ahead.
I say no.
Yeah, because we ain't in the kingdom. This is the second covenant. This is how we get to the kingdom. Now we're teaching this now, and teaching us to keep it now, but there's going to become a point in time where you're going to know to keep this. Like, let's say if Christ come back today, right? Your child is going to be born in a few months. What are you going to teach them?
Laws.
The laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, right? And you was raising your hand to answer. Or you had something else to
I
say.
have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
When they say there will be no need to teach their neighbor, that's what made me think. Oh, hold on, because I got kind of puzzled because I was like, hold on. I know, like in the kingdom of heaven, we're not gonna have to go out to camp no more. Because everybody we gonna all come to the school and learn. You know what I mean? Like we do now, there ain't gonna be no need to camp telling people to change their lives and stuff like that. Like it's like everybody just going.
There's going to be somewhere where people could come and get more knowledge of the Bible or of the laws of the Most High. There's going to be somewhere where people could come from. You know what I mean? To learn about that. So, was that it? Oh no, go ahead.
Even in this captivity, certain laws we just know, we just keep. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, me and dogs and cats. You know what I mean? The Thailand and eat dogs and cats over there. We not even thinking about that. It's not even on the menu. It's not even a thought. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what the scripture is saying. Like, when we in the kingdom, it's not going to be a thought. Like, it's not, we ain't got to think about it.
Yeah, you're going to know from the moment you at the age where you're able to start learning, you're going to know, nah, you don't do that. To whereas though I know, if I tell you this, you're going to memorize it. It ain't going to be, you're going to forget it. You're at the age where you're going to memorize this. Don't do this, don't do that. That's going to be in the kingdom. And then you're going to grow up and be an age to be like, yo, I learned that. I was like 7 or 8. Nah, we shouldn't do that. Nah. Yo, I remember my pop told me, yo, let's go down to such and such, and I'm going to ask the priest down there what to do. I'm going to ask the people that's in charge down there what to do. I know we shouldn't do that. Nah, yeah, man, my dad told me that when I was a kid. Everybody in the kingdom going to know this is what you should and shouldn't do. Like right now, Salakia, right now, you got what the Christians teaching their kid when they born. Exactly. If this was the kingdom, they'd be dying for, breeding them kids, and them kids is not being taught the right thing. But go ahead, you had your hand up?
If I could, I'd be like amazed by the stories that parents like yourself and other brothers and sisters, like they explain how because they taught their child the truth, and they're at the mind capacity to understand, and what they will actually call out, like, I ain't supposed to be doing that. I ain't supposed to, no. Like kids in the UPK, man, they be more hardcore than the people in the world. I be a little like, I ain't gonna lie, man. I would be trying to step wrong in front of them, like, listen, man, like, don't hurt me. You know what I'm saying? They get straight A's and all that. You know what I mean? Those cool kids out, but they hardcore because they've been taught. You know what I mean? From the pup, hey, I ain't supposed to be doing it. I ain't supposed to be doing that. And that's a beautiful thing because our children in the UPK is seeing their parents be a role model, and that's something that we don't have in the house. Like I ask a lot of women a lot of times, I'm like, yo, you don't think that you think that that's cool? You know that you got children, you want your daughter to think because you want to tell her she's not grown. You think that it's cool for you to encourage your daughter to wear that type of clothes and do that? Like these children see their parents on social media. These little pervert little boys watching dudes' moms, you know what I'm saying, on social media. They got social media too. And it's like, we don't understand that we supposed to be role models to them. And that's the issue that we have.
And not only that, I'll tell you a perfect story, man. my son, he was like, I think he was like 5. 5. I think he was 5. He was in first grade. His teacher called me one day and was like, "Hey, Yaramaya said that he heard you say he was allergic to sugar. We giving out cake, and he want to make sure that he's not allergic to sugar, that he could take this cake." And I was like, "Allergic to sugar? What the hell is this boy?" All right, put him on the phone. I'm like, "What the hell is this boy talking about?" All right, put him on the phone. He get on the phone. He say, "Hello, Daddy?" I said, "Yeah, what's up? What are you talking about? You allergic to sugar?" He said, "No, I only told them that so they could call you. It's a birthday party today. We don't celebrate birthdays, right?" I was like, I looked at the phone. I was like,
You talking cool.
I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's my young.
I looked at the phone for like 15 seconds, like, say that again? He said, "No, Daddy, they having a birthday party today. We don't celebrate birthdays, right?" I looked at the phone again, was like shocked, like he listened when he around me. I'm like, nah, we don't do birthdays. Why? What's up? "Oh no, Daddy, they having a birthday party today, and they brought out the cake. They singing the song. I remember you saying something about not celebrating birthdays. I wanted to call you." I'm like, "Why didn't you just ask your teacher to call me?" He like, "I didn't think she was going to do it if I asked her." So when he said that, I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be there in like 10 minutes to get you, all right?" Hung up the phone, and I'm like, I'm driving. I'm like, he really told his teacher he was allergic to sugar to get me on the phone to find out if we can celebrate birthdays. I'm like, I'm going to get him a new game when I go pick this up. So like, go ahead.
So happy about that. That's the spirit. You understand? That was on that sister and her sons, on the sister sons.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In the book, Apocrypha, when those brothers was willing to die. You know what I mean? To eat pork. You know what I'm saying? Like they was like, "Man, the hell with that, man. You want to torture us? All right, say less." You know what I'm saying? These bodies don't mean shit to us. It's a lot.
Right. Nah.
I mean, that's how they really put it to them, to the Greeks. And that's the spirit that we had to put inside these children. Because you're talking about a new line of a generation that is going to be taking care of us. And, is going to be operating like there's going to be a time when they're going to be in position in ISUK. You know what I'm saying? To run these offices and stuff like that. We're going to get old and dusty. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Back's going to be hurting, knees going to be hurting.
We need young brothers. Yeah.
To be standing in the back cab with my knees don't work no more.
We need young brothers like, y'all holding it down. Like, I got to serve you, man.
Right.
Get these soldiers in line. You know what I mean? That's why I love this school. Like I coming into the school, I had to really see like the benefits. I'm like, man, I can raise a family. Really, I didn't understand all that came with it until I
actually
really got into it, and I was like, oh snap, this is a cheat code. And you got young brothers like y'all being raised up, young sisters. You know what I mean? These little sisters, man, they be telling the other little girls, "Hey, you ain't supposed to be doing that. That's
not right."
Females do it. And the little girls be like, "Why do you think you?" You know what I mean? She looking like, "I would knock you the hell out."
Right.
But for the sake of sisterhood, I'm not.
Right. That's a fact.
They call it grandma. You don't think
you don't do nothing.
Right, you don't do nothing.
Right.
And they be the ones in the future having like 4 baby dads. You know what I mean? Running through so many marriages, but our daughters and our sons will have happy marriages. How parents age fathers, they'll be teaching their son, look, son. I mean, I got these box of condoms for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
UPK, we like, nigga, get it all black.
Right.
Get it all black, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Get it all black. You understand? Raise up the Lord's nature before you try to go get your damn girlfriend. Well,
Right.
not girlfriend, a wife.
Right. Is there any more questions online?
Wow, sir.
Is there any questions in the room? Questions? No questions? All right. So with that, pass the class off to priest and officer in the car. Yeah, that's the wild. That's the wild. All right, that's cool.
Y'all crazy.